Joy, your new book is all about Trump's impact on America. Do you think we'll be able to recover from his presidency once he finally leaves office? I keep saying he never will.
Well, you know what? He keeps saying he never will, right?
Now he's doing it.
Now he's doing it. You know, it's going to be very hard. I interviewed a lot of people from all around the world who all said one thing. The thing that America has said about itself since World War II, we kind of suspected might be a bit bullshit. Donald Trump has made us feel, yep, it was always bullshit. We don't believe it anymore. So getting the world to believe again, to believe that we are
the good people,
the good people, the leader of the free world, the real democracy, the multicultural democracy.
I think that went pretty far down after Vietnam, you know. I mean,
but he's created it. And the other thing is it's like supply chains, right? So Donald Trump does a tariff war. People stop buying our soybeans. Do you think because Kamala Harris is president, suddenly they'll be like, oh, we're going to buy your soybeans again? No, they've already found other people to buy from. And they don't just revert back. So economically, a lot of the damage will be really, really hard to do.
Okay, Seth, what are your thoughts on Twitter's new policy that it will label the tweets of national figures that break the platform's rules?
That's a really fucking hard question. That's you know, that's
tweets of that will break. What are the rules?
Again, this falls into the category of, you know, if I was running Twitter, I would not know. I would curl up into a fetal position and hide in a corner. It's the hardest question in the world to ask because you want absolute freedom of speech, but at the same time, Twitter's impact and the impact of Facebook and the impact of social media is undeniably potent. So there is some regulatory responsibility to prevent the dissemination of bullshit information. But how do you go down that road? It's the only advice I can give is to the people up top is just use your brain, you know, case by case. I don't know how to.
I would say to most of the normal people out there, you have to stand up to Twitter. Yeah. That's what has to happen. That's what liberals are not doing. They do it privately.
The problem is that's easier said than done because you have the press that latches on to it for the sake of clickbait.
I don't know. We got to stick together.
A better educated public wouldn't be as susceptible to it. I mean, they've tried this all over the world. Russia has, and it's been more potent here.
And I think we also need to be responsible to push back on just on a personal level. I mean, I had a friend once who posted an article on Facebook that said the Russians are feeding people in Aleppo. Why aren't we doing that? Well, I clicked on the link, went to another link, went to another link, which went to Bashar al-Assad's website. And I had to call her out and say, you do realize you are forwarding the article of a dictator. She didn't know. She said, oh, my God, no idea. Yeah. So if we smell bullshit, we need to be community leaders as well as big and public about it.
Oh, absolutely true. It also is important to turn off your phone. I mean, it's to remember that Twitter is not reality. And it's something that I think we saw in the debates, you know, that if you believe that the Twitter mob is the real world, you're going to get in trouble. And it's easy enough to turn off your phone and walk out in the...
They're bullies.
Do you think it's getting to the point where this thing that we've created is getting so powerful and having such an impact that it's almost like a department of social media to be created in the U.S. government?
Well, but then what would they do?
And who would staff it and what...
They'd be on fucking Twitter all day.
That's right.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say about that, Seth, is that when you think about it, Twitter only works in a context where you have the institutions that allow free speech to be propagated.
Yeah, I'm not advocating. I'm just asking.
You know, remember in Iran at the time of the so-called Green Revolution, Twitter was alive and sparkling, and they shut it down. And Harry will do the same thing in Hong Kong
and China is doing much the same thing.
So, given those choices, you know, Twitter is properly protected by liberal institutions. That's more important than the fact that bad information does get out, and we have to then correct with good information. That's the way the system should work.
And I can tell you the companies don't accept any responsibility. Yeah. I was at a conference in D.C. for the Atlantic Council, and they were asking about national security on social media. And I won't say which company, but a rep basically said, like, hey, we're just the carton. We're not responsible for the eggs inside. It's nothing to do with us.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're relying. It's at the end of it all comes down to the conscience of Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, and do they want to do what's right? And, I don't know what's
When's
right.
the last time you posted to Facebook? The first thing that'll happen when you post, I think
it was like
hit send.
2006.
Right. I mean, I've only been recently doing it for this marketing stuff. The first thing you get is boost post. So they're immediately trying to monetize your post. It can be about your cat. They're like, do you want to send this to 20 more people? $30, you can do it. I mean, they are trying to make money based on how many people use it, even if the people aren't real people. They don't care if they're humans. They don't care if it's a, troll farm in, Dubrovsk. They don't care. They just want the money. And so the problem is saying they're just a platform. They're not.
No.
They're also monetizing us. We're not the customer. We're the product.
Okay, so do you anticipate that Robert Mueller's public testimony, another story that happened, we didn't mention, but it's not going to happen until July 17th. Robert Mueller will testify.
Yep.
Do you anticipate his public testimony will reveal anything lawmakers don't already know?
No.
Can we, and I don't know if you agree, can we please, Democratic Party, can America stop outsourcing the responsibility to contain the president to Robert Mueller?
I've been saying that for a long time.
He is not going to do the job of the
No.
Congress. Congress, if you want to rein in the president, you have all the power you need. It's in the Constitution. Stop outsourcing your jobs to Robert Mueller. He ain't doing it for you.
Absolutely right, Joy. But with one addition I would make. Look, Robert Mueller did his job. He had a very narrow conception, very precise and legalistic conception. Nonetheless, what did he say in the end? He said, I can't indict the guy because I'm not allowed to. And I can't even say I think he might be indicted. Right. But nonetheless, he was taking it by the letter of the office. But then he said, and it was like, trying to help somebody when they're getting a question wrong on a test, he said, if we could say that he was innocent of obstruction of justice, then we would say it. But we cannot say it.
So say he's guilty.
Yes, exactly. He was saying he is guilty of obstruction of justice, and he was trying to goad on the Democratic Congress to take that action.
You know what? Why be so subtle? The institutionalists are going to kill us. He's trying to be such a Boy Scout about it.
He did not step up when history called.
Maybe so, but the conclusion is perfectly clear if you read the Mueller report.
Hinge doesn't work with politicians.
What do you think this card said? They did a reading of the Mueller report at a church. What?
That'll help.
In New York, right?
With stars.
A lot of celebrities. Justin Long played Comey, or no, played somebody.
Justin Timberlake, maybe?
No, Justin
Comey,
Long.
I think.
They couldn't get Justin Timberlake, I promise you. But there were some big names there. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was there, John Lithgow, and they read the Mueller report. I don't know what this accomplishes.
Point of it.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
I don't know.
Listen,
If you read it in different voices,
guys,
I might
we don't know.
that
We don't know what's going to happen until the votes are cast. And listen, there might be a lot of people that come out of those voting booths and say, listen, I was hardcore, right-wing, MAGA. Then I heard the guy from Third Rock from changed everything.
All right. Thank you, everybody. It's our vacation.